Hello and welcome to this YouTube video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about all the things I'm going to be doing differently at my wedding. I'm getting married next year. I'm beyond excited. But yeah, I posted a little video on TikTok just briefly explaining some of the things that we'll be doing differently, and people had a lot to say about it. So I thought I'd make a bit of a longer video and just kind of get into it, all the things we're doing differently. Every single wedding is unique, but I still do feel like there is this kind of idea that you should do a lot of it quite traditionally. But yeah, so we're not going like crazy different, but there are a few things that we're doing that aren't traditional. So I wanted to kind of run through them and explain them. If you are new to my channel, hi, I'm Liv. It's so nice to have you here. Basically, I just have started YouTube again after a kind of 3-year hiatus. I'm hoping to just post a lot more kind of lifestyle, vloggy, chatty, homey content, and I just hope this is a safe and peaceful space for you to be in. So thank you so much for joining me. Please do subscribe to check out my new videos when they come out, and yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing, and this is one that riled people up on TikTok, was that we're actually having no catering. When I say that, that sounds really weird. I do get why people were like, well, you can't not feed people. But a lot of the comments after explaining why I'm having no catering were still like assuming that I'm going to feed people half a sandwich and they're going to be starving. It's not the case at all. So we're not having traditional catering, and catering is very, very, very expensive. So this is one of the ways we're actually cutting back on our budget massively and saving quite a lot of money. I'm going to do a separate video on the things that we're doing to save money for a wedding because my God, they're expensive. But yeah, we're basically having catering done by ourselves. So what this is going to look like, and I have thought about this quite a lot, is we're having a late wedding. So I think we're getting married about 2:30, and in the evening we're going to be sitting down to have our kind of meal. I'm assuming around 4:30. I don't quite know. We haven't figured out the kind of order of service for the day because it's a year away still. But yeah, essentially people will be having obviously their breakfast and their lunch at home. I don't feel the need to provide people with a 3-course meal. In weddings I've personally been to, I've never really enjoyed a 3-course meal anyway. We're not really foodie people. I would actually prefer to spend more of our budget on other things than a 3-course meal that potentially not everyone will enjoy anyway. I think it's just not really a priority for us. When I said on TikTok that I wasn't a foodie person, people were so shocked. They were like, how can you not be a foodie person? And I don't mean that I don't like to eat. I bloody love food. But what I'm saying is I'm not bothered about a bit of froth on my plate or whatever. I just don't really want to sit down for a 3-course meal. It's personal preference. But what we are doing instead, on each table, we are going to provide like a big picnic hamper. We are people that absolutely love a picnic. Cannot wait until it's summer and we can do more picnics. And this is a summer wedding, and it's kind of, yeah, like I say, going to be about 4 or 5. And on everyone's table there's going to be a big picnic hamper. So in there we're going to be storing all of the things that obviously don't need to be refrigerated. So we obviously haven't got it down right now, but what we're planning on doing is kind of getting big platters. You can get big platters from some people on TikTok again told me, from M&S, Morrison's, even like Costco. And you can basically, what we're going to do is just get these platters and then divide them. So I'm thinking kind of meats, cheeses, breads, spreads, little pastry things. We're going to do all of these kind of things that you'd imagine in a really kind of high-end bougie picnic. And we're going to put all the the things that we don't need to refrigerate into this lovely picnic hamper. We're going to provide obviously like boards to cut the bread and all of this kind of stuff. And then we're also going to have a refrigerated like cool bag, like a really big one. Obviously in there we'll have things like the cheeses, the meats, the things that obviously need to be refrigerated will all be in there, and that will be on each table. We're having a very small number of guests as well, which is important to add. We're only having about 55 max people come to our wedding. So it's not like we need a load of food, but there's going to be more than enough food in one of these massive hampers for everyone around the table. Obviously we'll make sure, maybe we'll have to do 2 hampers per table, I don't know, but I'm going to make sure that we obviously provide people with enough food. But that is kind of the idea of it also being quite an interactive thing. I think sometimes when you go to weddings it's really awkward because you're kind of sat there like, oh yeah, cutting your food and having people serve you, and it just feels a bit too formal, and we don't want it to be formal. We want it to be like this interactive thing and everyone's like sharing and chatting, and it's just lovely, and it's like big picnic vibes. So essentially, yes, that is the first thing. The second thing, again, something that people on TikTok were like, oh, how can you do that? But we're not actually having staff. So our wedding venue is just the venue alone. So it's a 4-day hire of the venue, which obviously allows us to set up ourselves and do all of these kind of things. But we're not going to be having people helping us and looking after us at the wedding. In my personal opinion, I just don't want someone that's like on a weekend shift handing me a glass of champagne on what's supposed to be like the most special day of my life. And I know that sounds so silly, and maybe it is, but it's just my kind of personal opinion. I just want it to be this really small, intimate, lovely, fun, relaxed experience with everyone that I love. And it's not that I don't want help. We're actually thinking about hiring maybe like 1 person just to kind of do like finishing touches and kind of help us out. But my idea is just that once we've had the wedding, we'll all move through into the other garden, and there'll be booze in buckets and people will be popping champagne, and it'll be fun, and we don't need it to be formal and people handed and kind of served. Obviously the way we're doing our food doesn't need to be kind of served either. So yes, we might have like 1 person that we know, who obviously is not coming to the wedding, that we kind of know, maybe like family friend or something, because we're all going to be busy on the wedding day, especially the morning of the wedding. But we're not having people help us to just kind of operate on the day. In my opinion, there's just no need for it, and I just do want it to be like really small and intimate. So the next thing is that I'm actually not having any bridesmaids, and my partner is not having any groomsmen. We are keeping it very, very family centric. I feel kind of 2 minds about this, but it was my choice. I have basically given, and I'm yet to give, my girls, the people that are most important to me in my life, basically little like bows, and I'm going to write little cards, and it's going to be like a little thing to kind of say like, if I was having bridesmaids, you would be that person for me because I love you, and you're like the nearest person in my life. But I just don't really feel the need, because it's such a small wedding. I mean, that's bloody half the party, do you know what I mean? So I just don't feel the need to have bridesmaids, and I want it to be a really intimate kind of like family thing. And I also want my friends to just enjoy their experience. I know a lot of people do enjoy being bridesmaids, but I know a lot of people find it a bit of a chew on. So I just want people to be able to sit and relax and just just enjoy watching our ceremony, rather than feeling like they have to like pick up my dress or whatever. Like, no. So yeah, I'm gonna get my friends like little / have already got my things, friends, little kind of token that they can kind of like wear in their hair. It's just like a little bow that they can wear like in their hair or on their bag or whatever, to kind of symbolize that they're my people. But I'm, yeah, just not having bridesmaids basically. And like I say, my partner's not having groomsmen. And that comes on to the next point, where my mum is my maid of honour and my partner's dad is his best man. Now, for us personally, this was absolutely just, it was always going to be that way. So it's nothing to do with the fact that we're not having friends fill these roles, I guess. But I'm so incredibly close to my mum. My mum is my best friend, and I couldn't think of anyone that I would rather do that role. So yeah, she's gonna be my maid of honour, and obviously my partner feels the same about his dad, so he's gonna be the best man. And I just think it's gonna be so lovely. It's gonna be like really intimate, small family situation. Yeah, also I feel like this is maybe more of a common one now that kind of families are a little bit more dispersed and separated and things like that. But my mum will be walking me down the aisle. I adore my mum so much, as you can probably tell. I actually feel quite emotional about even thinking about her walking me down the aisle, but it's just one of those like life moments. It's kind of always been like me and her little best mates, and I just can't think of anyone I would rather have walk down the aisle with me. So I'm incredibly excited to kind of have this momentous occasion with her. So yeah, that's maybe not that uncommon, I guess, but I thought I'd add that one in there. And the next ones are just things that I feel like are kind of given at a wedding, are like what you do and what we're not doing. So the first one is no wedding favours. I just feel like wedding favours are quite an odd thing. I've never really personally been like buzzing about wedding favours, and my thoughts are as well, like obviously this is like our most special day, but that's my dog, sorry, but do our guests really want, like, I don't know, a champagne glass with our initials on, or like a little token? I just don't think they do. And obviously they're going to be happy for us and they want to be there, but I don't necessarily think a wedding favour is like necessary. And I kind of just think it's something people feel like they have to take home. It's also expensive, like it's just adding so much more money that we'd need to pay. So we're just not doing any wedding favours. We're doing a lot of ideas that will kind of incorporate all of our guests on the day, which again I'm going to make another video on all of the little things that we are doing that are going to make it so special, and kind of ideas that we have. But yeah, wedding favours is not up there. And the last one is then we're gonna have a registry. I find the concept of, I guess registries were created because it was like the merging of two people kind of moving in together and all of this. We already live together, we already have pots and pans and things, and although I think it's really lovely, and I know a lot of people do want to give gifts, so I do feel like maybe we'll have to kind of do something where people feel like they can give gifts, because obviously that's really lovely. I just feel like it's a little bit cheeky doing a registry. Like we already have such a wonderful life, we're already so grateful, and I feel like as well a lot of the people that come into our wedding are going to be traveling, so I do really take that into account. Going to a wedding itself is not cheap. People will have to pay, you know, for places to stay and trains and taxis and whatever. So for me, the gift sounds so cheesy, but the gift is people's presents. Their present is my present, so I definitely don't expect any kind of gifts or kind of funds or honeymoon funds or anything like that. And also at the end of the day, like it's our choice to get married, and it's an absolute blessing that these people want to come and watch that. So I don't feel like the need to kind of ask anything else from them. But yes, my dog is licking himself. He's about to come over and say hi as well. But yeah, they're all of our things that we're doing, I guess, a little bit differently at our wedding. Like I say, I'm gonna make some more wedding style content, kind of just about how we're saving money, and kind of the venue and the kind of ideas that I have for the wedding that I've seen and that I want to do. So if you are interested in wedding content, please do subscribe. I hope you did enjoy this video, and I am so excited to share more of this kind of stuff. I absolutely cannot believe I'm getting married. I'm gonna be a wife. So it's really fun. It's really fun to plan as well. Like we've had a lot going on recently, so we've basically planned the big things, but we haven't done all the little kind of fun bits. So yeah, keep up to date with me on my journey. And if you're also getting married soon, congratulations. I hope you have the best time. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. All my socials and everything as well are in the link below, like my TikTok, my Instagram. And if you want to see any specific type of content, please do let me know. I'm trying to be more kind of interactive with people on here, and I guess the YouTube world. So yeah, let me know, and please do, like I say, like and subscribe if you did enjoy this content. Bye.